everybody, it's me, Rita, and today I want to, this is my book, The Widow's Torment, and today I want to talk to you about the most beautiful redhead I've ever known. Her name was Desiree Thompson. That's her single name, her maiden name. She's since married, but she is one of the most beautiful women I've ever known in my entire life. She had this long, perfectly straight, gorgeous, bright red hair, and it wasn't like an orangey red. It was like a cool toned red color. So it was this really beautiful, long, straight red hair, and it was so stunning. And she had these like light blue eyes, these pale blue eyes, and she was just gorgeous in every way. She was so beautiful. And one of the things that in my book that I wrote, the protagonist, her name is Bethany Ditmar, and she's battling the gods for her husband's gods, actually, for his soul so that she can resurrect him. And so she's really wanting him back after he dies. And in my book, I talk about her appearance, and I mention it throughout the book. And in the book, she has Bethany Ditmar has this long, perfectly straight blood red hair, and it's alternatively described as dark red or deep red or whatever. But it's really, really long, and it's like down to her knees, and it's perfectly straight, and it's this blood red hair, and she has green eyes. But the woman I based her appearance on, who I actually have met, who I actually know in person, her name is Desiree Thompson, and again, that's her maiden name. She has since married. She is one of the kindest, sweetest, most loving women in the world. Now, I did not write my female protagonist's personality to match Desiree's. Desiree was perfect in every way. And Desiree, still to this day, is still perfect in every way. I don't know anyone who is as kind or sweet or as loving as Desiree Thompson. She is one of my heroes. She is one of the people I love the most in the world. And I think she's wonderful. But Bethany Ditmar, she kind of has a cold, she starts out in the book kind of being cold and being real cynical about the gods, whether or not they even exist, what's really going on. She doesn't really care. She thinks her husband is being way too emotional and everything like that about that. Bethany is amazing, and so I definitely wrote her appearance. Hey guys, it's so great to see you. Hey everyone. Oh hi. Oh, hi, Bear. Mwah. Hi, Bear. So great to see you right here. Let's see, who else has come in? Oh, wonderful. Tom, James, Perry, and Lawrence. Hey, nice to see you guys. In this book, I've written Bethany's personality to be. She starts out in the book just very cold, very cynical. She is loving. She is loving to her husband. Chris really loves her, and she really loves him. They're very close, but this is the one area in their lives in which they're not close, in which they do have a lot of division. He loves his gods. He loves praying to his gods. They're good to him. He's good to them. They love each other. It's all very sincere and emotionally balanced and wise and everything. Just wisdom everywhere, kindness, lovingness, generosity. And that is the kind of relationship Chris has with his gods. And then Bethany, she's his wife, and she's so beautiful, just like my friend Desiree. She's so beautiful. But Bethany, she is, when it comes to spiritual matters, when it comes to the gods, she doesn't even believe they exist. She thinks that people do this, just as a way to make themselves feel better about death, and to welcome death a little bit, with less stress and anxiety, and that's it. She kind of thinks that Chris's relationship with his gods is kind of fairy tale and frou-frou and stupid and completely ineffectual, and she does love him, and she does take good care of him, and he takes really good care of her, and they work together. They are landowners. They own farms and fields and everything, and they're wonderful people. They're both wonderful people, but she is very cynical, and this book is about her journey, wanting to resurrect him after he dies, and this is about her journey to him, to try to get to him, and her journey, dealing with his gods, God that she didn't even start out even believing in. So anyway, I'm not giving away any of the book because this is definitely part of the book. But the most beautiful redhead I've ever known, Desiree. She and I were both, here in Amarillo. We were both in our homeschool group together. We had various activities throughout the school year and the summer, for homeschooling students, and she and I knew each other through all of those. We were in a kind of homeschooling version of Girl Scouts together. I don't know why we weren't just in Girl Scouts, but whatever. We were in we were part of the same organization, PACHIA, Panhandle Christian Home Educators Association. We saw each other at various homeschooling events, such as going to Wonderland Park together, going to different activities and sporting events together. And she was always the kindest, sweetest, most loving person in the world. And she's a lot like my character, Bethany. Bethany is she's kind of cold on the outside, and she kind of seems cold to other people. She is actually a person of great depth, great personality, but she is not the kind of person who, she's not the kind of person. Hey, John. Hey, Omar. Nice to see you guys here. Bethany's not the kind of person who, she comes across very warm-hearted. She doesn't feel too comfortable being too emotionally expressive. So Bethany's kind of, outwardly she's kind of a bitch, and inwardly she's kind of a warm-hearted person who is kind of cynical about certain things, certain religious things. I can tell you the person that her beauty was based upon, Desiree. Desiree was nothing like that. Desiree is always very kind, godly, sweet, gentle. She thought well privately and publicly. She acted well privately and publicly. Everyone loved her. I don't know anyone who didn't love Desiree. She was always just so beautiful and so kind and sweethearted. One of the people I admire the most in the world is Desiree. In fact, if I was ever the type who wanted a big fancy wedding, which I don't, but if I ever was the type who wanted a big fancy wedding, I would want her to be my maid of honor. I don't care if my beauty is outdone by hers. That doesn't matter to me. I just want the most beautiful people in the world at my wedding, and she is the most beautiful woman I know. So I literally wrote the female protagonist of my book, based upon Desiree. Her beauty is based upon Desiree. I did write my protagonist to have blood red hair. Desiree's is a little bit more of a true red. So this book has her hair. It's not so much auburn. It's just kind of a deep, cool red. And Desiree's is a little bit. It's not orange or anything, but it's a little bit more of a true basic red. And her hair is also cool toned. And I wrote Bethany's character as being green-eyed. I really wanted people to kind of picture this stunning woman in their minds. But Desiree's eyes are actually, I believe they're light blue, as I recall, and she is just so sweet. I had to write Bethany as kind of a cold, unfeeling personality, or seemingly cold, unfeeling personality, whereas Desiree is just warm-hearted and generous and complimentary to everyone, and she's just very likable. Desiree's a very likable girl, a woman, and she always has been. And so Bethany, she doesn't start out being real likable. Her journey is to not just teach her about the gods and teach her about her position in the world, but it's also to help her kind of become the person that she was always meant to be. And this book is about her journey, not only to try to resurrect her husband, but her journey into herself, into who she is as a person. Hey Arthur, hey, mwah, how's your kitty? And and Aaron and Richard. Oh, hi Richard. How's the lodge? How are you doing? so um so anyway, this book is about Bethany's journey, and Bethany's beauty is definitely based upon my friend Desiree. And I don't know anybody in the world who is as beautiful as Desiree. She is, wow, she is just knocking dead beautiful. And I tried to create even more contrast and kind of write Bethany like that as well, especially with her cold personality. It kind of emphasizes the stark contrast in her beauty. Her floor length or knee length, straight blood red hair, her bright green eyes, her ivory skin, and then her cold personality, especially in the beginning of the book. But the but the truth is, by the end, she really becomes just a good, wonderful person. I really recommend this book. If you guys, there's a link over there if you guys like to check it out. But that is the most beautiful redhead I've ever known. And I literally wrote my book with my female protagonist, or my only protagonist, based upon the most beautiful redhead I've ever known. So I thought you guys like to hear about her. But Desiree is nothing like Bethany. Desiree is just very warm-hearted and kind and gentle and sweet. Hey, Shep. Hey, David. Bethany is much more cold, much more unfeeling. Desiree, the real person I based upon her beauty upon, she's actually just a total delight. She's very godly. She's very Christian. She's very kind. And loving and gentle and likable. She's very likable. I did not write, even though Bethany was so beautiful, I did not write her to be a very likable personality. And that is her journey, is to be the kind of person that she was meant to be. But Desiree she's always been likable. She's always been just a total delight to be around. Okay, anyway, guys, that's a little bit of background about that particular character of my book. If y'all want to check it out, it's right there in the link. You can go check it out. And guys, I love that you guys, hey guys, more people. I just wanted to, I want to tell you guys, I really love this book. I actually like reading this book, even though I'm the one who wrote it. I actually like reading it because I'm just so thrilled with the story. I think it's such a good story, and it keeps you kind of activated throughout, and it's so interesting. It has all these little interesting details I put in it. So guys, I hope you like it when you read it, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Mwah. Bye.